If you're interested in seeing how I make this soft and delicious homemade bread, please stay tuned to the video. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I will be showing you how I make my homemade bread. So this is a quick, simple and easy recipe that you can follow along to. So for this recipe, you will just need a couple of ingredients. You will need some honey or sugar, active dry yeast, salt, butter or canola oil, and your all-purpose flour. So without any further delay, let's get into the video. So first we're going to start off with 4 cups of warm water, and this is warm tap water. The water should not be hot. It should just be warm, just like bath water, so nothing that's gonna burn your skin. And to that, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of active dry yeast. And then you're gonna mix this in. And this is the brand of dry yeast that I use. Okay, and in order to help your yeast to activate quicker, we're just gonna add just a little bit of granulated sugar to it. So what this does, this helps to activate the yeast and helps it to become foamier quicker. So not too much. The amount of sugar that you add should not change the taste of the bread. So it's just a dash of granulated sugar. So after this, we're gonna let this sit for 10 minutes before we come back and start our bread making process. So because this marble top is very cold, so if your kitchen has marble, granite or quartz countertop and it's really cold, those stones are really cold, what you can do is just add a cutting board underneath your yeast, your bowl with your yeast, so it can stay warm and it doesn't get too cold. And then what you do, once you put it on your cutting board, or you can put it on your stove top or on a table in the sun, you want to cover it and allow the yeast to activate and get foamy. So we're going to leave this for 10 minutes, then I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like. So now that our yeast has been activated and it's nice and foamy, we're going to add this to the mixer. And we're going to add 1 tablespoon of salt, 1/3 cup of butter or canola oil. But I use butter because, you know, as they say, butter makes everything better. And also add your 1/3 cup of honey, or you can also use sugar for this recipe as well. So this recipe calls for 10 cups of flour, but I'm gonna be adding 5 cups of flour first. So 1, 2, 5. So after you add your 5 cups of flour, you're gonna turn your mixer on and get this to mix in. Okay, so now we have 5 more cups of flour to add, but what I want you to do is to add them in 1 cup at a time. So 1, so that's 1. Add cup number 2. So let's add cup number 3. So let's add cup number 4. So we're gonna add cup number 5. And guys, you don't need a fancy mixer to do this. You can also do this by hand as well. So guys, now we have kneaded our flour. So what you're looking for when you're kneading your flour is to make sure that the flour is not sticking to the sides of the mixing bowl and that it's not sticking to your finger. So meaning it's not tacky to the touch. So once you have mixed it and it's like this, you know it's ready for kneading, okay? So let's go ahead and knead our flour. So you want to go ahead and flour your counter, wherever it is you're going to knead your bread. Okay. And we're going to take our bread out from the mixer. And you're gonna knead for 5 to 8 minutes. And what you're doing when you're kneading, you're just working out the excess air bubble that's in the flour. So after kneading it for 5 to 8 minutes, you're gonna get yourself a big bowl. Like this. And you're gonna grease your bowl with some oil or butter. Make sure you get along the sides as well. So after you grease your bowl, you're gonna take your bread dough and you're gonna drop it in the bowl. You're gonna also wanna grease the top of the dough. And then you're gonna get a clean dish towel and then cover it and allow it to double in size. So typically it takes about 35 to 45 minutes for this dough to double in size. So we're just gonna take our clean kitchen towel, cover it, and allow it to sit for 35 to 45 minutes or until it doubles in size. So as you can see, guys, our dough has doubled in size, and this is what it's looking like. So I'm gonna move on to the next step in the process. So we're gonna lightly flour our surface, and then we're gonna dump out our dough that has rise. And you're gonna knead. So we're just removing the excess air that the dough has developed after rising for an hour. So we're just gonna knead out the air. Okay. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna divide this into 3 equal parts. Okay. And then we're gonna get our loaf pan and oil them. So you're gonna oil your loaf pan with some oil or butter. And make sure you get the sides as well. So this much dough will make us 3 loaf pans of bread. Get your dough, you're gonna need just to remove any excess air bubbles from it. You can hear the air bubbles popping. Okay. So then you're gonna take your loaf pan and try to measure the dough out to the width of your loaf pan. Okay, so this width looks good enough. So then what you're gonna do, you're gonna roll your dough tightly. Okay, and then this part that's open, you're gonna pinch it together just to keep it together with the rest of the dough. And you're gonna hit it on the counter a couple of times just to remove any excess air bubble. Then you're gonna get your loaf pan and place it inside. Okay. Gonna do the same thing with this next piece of dough. So you're gonna need to remove any excess air bubble. So now you're gonna get your loaf pan. Gonna try to spread the dough to the width of your loaf pan. And stretch it. Then you're gonna take the end of your dough and you're gonna roll it tightly. You're gonna turn it around. This side you're gonna pinch it. Just to close it up. You're gonna turn it around, hit it a couple times on the counter to get rid of the excess air bubble. Then you're gonna get your loaf pan, drop it. There you go. So now that our dough is in our loaf pan, we're just gonna lightly butter the top. Okay, and then we're gonna cover these with a clean kitchen cloth and let it rise for another 30 minutes. So now that we have our kitchen towel, we're just gonna cover it for 30 minutes to allow them to rise. And then we'll put them in the oven at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. So I'll come back to you guys and show you guys what it looks like once it's ready to go into the oven. So guys, our dough has been raising for a half an hour. So this is what it's looking like. They've rised up nicely, and as I said before, it's been a half an hour. So I'm gonna put them in the oven on 350 degrees for a half an hour. So now our breads are all baked. So it was in the oven for a half an hour. So now I'm just gonna grease the tops with some butter. And don't be afraid to be generous with the butter. Now I'm gonna let this cool down for a while, and then I'm gonna come back and cut into it and show you what it's looking like. So guys, our bread has been cooling for a half an hour. So I'm gonna get my serrated knife to cut into it just to show you guys what it's looking like. Oh guys, this looks so good. There's nothing like freshly baked bread, especially if it's homemade bread. This is too good. See, nice and soft and buttery. Yes guys. So there you have it. And thank you guys for watching, and please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. So until next time, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.